So as I mentioned, we've got 4 terms in this case, not 2. So I mentioned that we can possibly consider using grouping to group them first before we use our method. So in this case, I have the first 2 pairs, which are in blue here, and then in yellow, the last 2 terms. And then I tried to factorize this blue pair here, and I found 27m cubed was a common factor here. And when I factorized out that, I'm left with 2p squared plus q squared. And in yellow, I factorized 8n6. And then I'm again left with 2p squared plus q squared. So these 2 here were the common factor. Okay, and then I wrote that in the front here. And then I'm left with 27m cubed here plus 8n6 here. And that's your 2 factors here. So at that point here, I can't do any more with this term here. This is finished. All right, I can't factorize that more. So then I have 27m cubed plus 8n6, and I converted that to cubes here. And then I use the rule from last week. So this is your a cubed plus b cubed, which is a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared there. And so I ended up with 3 terms here. So that's your first term, your first factor, your second factor, and this is your third factor here. So I think the last couple of questions, 2 or 3 questions, use this method here. All right, so we'll do one together. So we got down to question 4, question 5 here, question 6. All right, so if you take a look at this question here, you will see so in question 6 here, we see we've got, let's make it larger first. Someone got their microphone on. So, right, let's make it a bit bigger. Here. All right, so if you look at this question here, so if you haven't done it yet, you can copy now. So first thing to do, look for any common factors. And you see x6 is your common factor. So write this out the front. x6, y12 minus 216, z9. Okay, so now we want to make this part something cubed minus something cubed like that. So first step, this is your factorizing, common factor first. Now we change to this difference of cubes. So let's use a square bracket here. Now y12 would be y4 cubed, 3 fourths of 12, minus 16, that would be 6 z cubed, like that. So 6 cubed, 216, and 3 3s are 9. Okay, so now we have difference of cubes. So this is quite large. So if you're copying, you'll need to copy fairly quickly because it may disappear off the screen. So then we have x6. Okay, so now we've got y4 cubed minus 6z cubed. So your first term, y4 minus 6z cubed. And then the second part of your formula, well, let's write the formula below. So this is going to be a minus b up here is a cubed minus b cubed, like that. And then we're going to have a squared plus ab plus b squared. And then we fill the numbers in. So a squared, you're going to have y4 squared plus ab. So that's y4 times 6z cubed plus b squared, and b is 6z cubed, and square that like that. So that should be your next line. And x6. Okay, then we just simplify the last factor. So y4 minus 6z cubed. So this would be y8 plus, now I'll put the number first, so that's 6 y4 z cubed, and then the last term 36z6, like that. So that's your answer. There should be then 3 factors. This is your first one, that's your original factorization, then your second factor, and then the last one here. Okay, so copy that down. That's question 6. I'll leave it there a minute. So you continue here. I'll talk about these in a minute, about what to do, but then you can continue to the last question today. So I'm not going to talk very much now, but maybe in about 20, 25 minutes, I'll start to go through some of them, but I want you to try and do them yourself first. Okay. So in question 7, your common factor, if you see here, is Z9. You see that? Look for any factors that are the same. So Z9. So take that out first, as I did in this question up here. All right, and then you continue with that one. So I'm going to stop talking for a while, maybe until about 8:30, 8:35. And then I'll start to do some of them. We may not do them all, but we'll try to get through most of them. Okay, so if you have a question, you can call out or put your hand up or something. All right, there's still some missing, but when they turn up, they'll just need to get to work. Okay, so I'll be quiet now and you can do some work just like the classroom. All right, so any question, just call out. Okay, I'll go through question 7. You can keep working if you want, but I'll do the solution here. So we're left with Z9 is the common factor, and X12 plus 343 Y6. And now we'll make these powers of 3 to the cube power. X4 cubed plus 7y squared cubed, like that. And then we'll use our rule here. So this is a cubed plus b cubed here. A squared minus ab plus b squared. There, and then just write in Z9 first. A plus b a squared x4 7y squared squared. Like that. The final line. x4 plus 7y squared x8 minus 7x4 y squared plus 49y4. So that's your final answer there for question 7. So Z9, first factor, x4, 7z squared, 7y squared, x8, 7x4, y squared, 49y4. That's the last factor there. Okay, that's question 7. So if we run out of time, I'll just write the solution, the answer, rather than all the working. So that's 7. Now in question 8, common factor here is 5. So take out 5 as your common factor. If that's 5,000, this is 1,000. P9 minus 27 Q6. Okay, and then we go from here. So we'll make this into cubes. So this would be 10p cubed minus 3q squared. Cube like that. Okay, so everything is in cube, then we apply our rule again. Let's just go straight down. Okay, so we'll have 5, 10p cubed minus 3q squared. So now we want this one squared minus this becomes plus. So then 10p cubed times 3q squared plus 3q squared, like that. So if you're a bit slow, you copy these into your book. I may ask to see this when we get back to school. I don't know when that is though. 10p cubed minus 3q squared. This is 100. P6 plus 3 tens of 30. P cubed q squared plus 9q4. Okay, so let's check that. We got 5. First factor, just a constant, 5. 10p cubed minus 3q squared. That's your next factor. 100p6, 30p cubed q squared, 9q4. Right, so that's the remaining factor there, and that's question 8. Okay, let's do one more, and then you can keep working for a bit. Okay, question 9. So it looks like the common factor here is going to be 2q, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 2q. So 2q is the common factor. So you got a q1 here, and a q10, so, and a 2 and 250. So 2q should be your common factor first. You'll be left with P6 plus 125 Q9. Okay, so now make these 2q powers. So we have 2q again. P6 would be p squared cubed plus 5q3 cubed, like that. So these will help in the homework sheet. I've got a few homeworks from some students, but the rest of you, remember it's due on Friday. It's quite a lot, but it's not really that difficult, but make sure you show you're working. Don't just write the answer, or you may not get all the points. So we've got p squared plus 5q cubed. First factor. Second factor, p squared squared minus p squared 5q cubed. Put that in bracket if you want. Plus 5q cubed squared. Just following the formula, that's all. So now you've got 2q p squared plus 5q cubed p4 minus 5 p squared q cubed plus 25 q6. Let's check. Q4. Yeah, so this one's okay. So 2q, first factor, then this is your second factor, and third factor here. That's question 9. So if you're copying that, just do that quite quickly. So question 10, we have to find a common factor. In this case, I used 64 T9 as the common factor here. So you ended up with R12 minus 8S6, like that. So take out as large a number as you can, but make sure you can still write these to power 3. Time is okay. So 64 T9. R12 would be R4 cubed minus 2S2 cubed, like that. 2 cubed, okay. 64 T9. So then we have the first factor, which would be R4 minus 2S squared. Then we're going to have R4 squared plus R4 times 2S squared plus 2S squared squared. Like that. So I'm just writing out using the rule in my head. So these are the lines you should be showing in your working. And the last one. So there should be around 4 lines of working in most of these questions. Maybe 3 if you don't need to factorize first. So 64 T9 R4 minus 2S squared. This would be 2 4s are 8, so R8 plus 2R4 S squared plus 4S4, like that. Let's see, R8. Okay, so these are your 3 factors again. First one here, second one from the rule, and third one here that can't be factorized anymore. Okay, question 10. So I might just write in some of the answers. So 11, I'll just give you the answer, okay? And then because we'll run out of time and I want to look at some of the last ones. So your answer here, you should have gotten 2i squared as your common factor. They got O here, it's not 0, it's 4o squared plus 3s cubed, 1604, that's just 1604, minus 12o squared s cubed, plus 9s6. Okay, that's the answer for 11. So you can copy that if you're following along, or just check your answer. That's your answer for question 11. So 2i squared, 4o squared plus 3s cubed, 1604, 12o squared s cubed plus 9s power 6. That's the third one there, third factor. Okay, so write that down quickly if you're writing. Okay, question 12. I'll give you the answer as well because it's a straightforward one. So question 12, you should get 7b9 as your common factor. Then you'll have 2a cubed minus 3c squared, 4a power 6 plus 6a cubed c squared plus 9c4. So that's the answer for question 12. First factor, 7b9. So that I initially factorized that. 2a cubed minus 3c squared. Then third factor here. So that's your answer for 12. For those of you who have already finished, that's your answer. Okay, that's question 12. We have a few minutes left, so question 13. So in 13, I might do this one. So now you see you've got 4 terms and we don't need to move anything here. So we don't need to move one of the terms. So you've got this first pair of terms and you've got this second pair here. Okay, so first thing we do, now you have 4 terms, so think of grouping. So grouping for factorizing. So in the first pair, I took 2x as the common factor. Then I'm left with 125 y6 minus 27 z cubed. That's 27. In this one, I factorized 3. And I'm left with 125 y6 minus 27 7, not z. 27 z cubed, right? Okay, so when you do this, when you do your pairing and then you factorize, you'll find you've got 2 common factors here, 125y6 and 125y squared minus 27z cubed. So these are the same. So these are your common factors, or your common factor. So take this common factor out, 125 y6 minus 27 z cubed as the common factor. And you're left with 2x plus 3 as the other factor. So that would be 2x plus 3. So this red one is finished already, but now you see you can factorize this first bit. So let's put that in the front, the 2x plus 3, because that's already done. That's finished. And then go to your one here that you want to do cubes with. So now we'll have 5y squared cubed minus 3z all cubed, like that. So I've just basically changed this one, which is in yellow, to this here. And now we can factorize that as we did earlier. So 2x plus 3. Then we've got, okay, now we'll factorize this. So 5y squared minus 3z. And we'll have 5y squared plus 5y squared 3z plus 3z squared. So that yellow has been factorized here, like that. And now we can write the final answer. Let's go up a bit. So 2x plus 3, 5y squared minus 3z. Then this is just expanded. So 25 y4 plus 15 y squared z plus 9z squared. So let's check that. 3z. Yeah, so these are your three factors here. So 2x plus 3, 5y squared minus 3z, and this one here. So these are your three factors for question 13. Got that? Okay, you can watch the video later to review. If we ever do go back to school, I'll be testing all of this work, so we really need to try and understand it. So you're trying to understand it just to understand it, not for the grade actually, because the grade's easy to get. You just have to submit your work on time and show the working. But we need to know this for next year, because eventually you will go back to school, won't you? So going to have to know how to do it. So in 14 and 15, I'll just give you the answer because we're going to run out of time, and you can try this yourself. Okay, so the answers here, I got 3z6 plus 2c6, 3a squared plus 4y squared, 9a4 minus 12a squared y squared plus 16y4. So you should copy this one. That's your answer, okay? And then you can try to do that one yourself. In this one, we just use the first two pairings. So this one as one pair, and then this one as the second pair here. So nothing had to be moved about. Okay, so copy that quickly if you're writing down, so I can show the answer for the last one, question 15. Okay, I'll make it smaller so we can write the other one. All right, here. So you can copy 14. Okay, so 15, we're going to have 4c3 minus 3d squared as your first factor. 16c6 plus 12c3d2 plus 9d4 and b plus 4a as the third factor there. So that's your answer for question 15. Now in this one, we needed to group them a little bit differently. So the first one and the third one, let's check. So this one and this one. So this one had to be moved. You can move it into here. And then this one went with this one here as another pairing. So this one was more complicated, a little bit more complicated. Okay, so copy those two down. And those are your three factors here for that one.